Claire Denis' latest film, The Fence, is a haunting exploration of division and moral decay that lingers long after the credits roll. But here's where it gets controversial. Does the film's obsession with invisible barriers between guilt and innocence, colonialism and complicity, ultimately undermine its own message? Let's dive in. Adapted from Bernard-Marie Koltès' play, Black Battles with Dogs. Denis' The Fence is less a story about a literal construction site and more a psychological battleground. Picture this, a desolate, dust-choked landscape split by a chain-link barrier. On one side, Alboury, Isaach De Bankolé, a grieving brother demanding justice for his workplace murdered sibling. On the other, Horn, Matt Dillon, a weary foreman trapped between corporate loyalty and personal ethics. Between them, a tempest of emotions, power struggles. They're the unspoken rules of exploitation, the fragility of Western authority in post-colonial spaces, and the terrifying dance between fear and dominance. Denis, alongside co-writers Andrew Litvak and Suzanne Linden, amplifies the play's Beckett and bleakness with surreal visuals. Imagine a CGI nightmare of a dog savagely tearing through flesh, juxtaposed with warm hues glowing in shadowy corners. The weather becomes a character itself, sweltering heat, sudden storms, mirroring the escalating tension between Horn and Alboury. It's a masterclass in subtext. Desire and dread become so entangled they're almost indistinguishable. But how does this translate when the dialogue feels clunky, like it's telegraphing its own themes? Is it the source material's fault? Or does Denis overcorrect with her stylistic flourishes? Then there's the trio of white men: Horn, the conflicted foreman; Cal, Tom Blyth, the unraveling manager; and Leonis, McKenna-Bruce, boyfriend, who's barely holding it together. Cal's breakdown is oddly poetic. He blasts Midnight Oil's Beds Are Burning in his car, screaming along to lyrics about a scorched earth. It's a surreal choice, but does it land? Meanwhile, Leonie, that outsider in a red dress, becomes the film's emotional fulcrum. Her presence, clumsy in heels on foreign soil, exposes the rot of the worksite. Is she a pawn, a threat, or something more? The ambiguity is maddening, and that's the point. De Bankolé as Alboury is a quiet force. His stoic demands for his brother's body feel like a moral earthquake, shaking the fragile facades of the white characters. But here's the rub. Does the film give him enough to do? He's often just a looming figure in the background, overshadowed by Dillon's over-the-top performance. Dillon's Horn is all twitchy intensity, but does it ever feel earned? And Blythe's Cal? He vacillates between smug entitlement and self-loathing so wildly, it's hard to connect with any of it. The film's biggest misstep? Its own narrative rigidity. By the third act, it feels like Denis is just ticking off boxes for a tragic ending. The emotional punchlines land with a thud, not a whisper. Compare this to her earlier work, Chocolat or Beau Travail, where themes seep into your bones without explanation. The Fence wants to scream its message, but in doing so, it loses the quiet power that made Denis a master in the first place. Still, there are moments of brilliance. A wide shot of Leonie alone in the dark, swallowed by the vastness of the site, is chilling. The score, Kylie Minogue's Can't Get You Out of My Head, feels like a cruel joke, yet it works, and the performances, while uneven, hint at deeper layers. Is the film's failure a flaw, or is it a deliberate critique of the very systems it condemns? You decide. Grade B-, The Fence premiered at the 2025 Toronto International Film Festival and is now seeking U.S. distribution. Want more deep dives like this? Subscribe to In Review by David Ehrlich for exclusive takes on cinema's biggest stories, and join the debate in the comments. After all, art without controversy is just a pretty picture, right?